Are you sick of the headache of trying to come up with content every day so that you can constantly be visible? The second you stop creating that content, you feel like you become invisible online? Well, you've come to the right spot because today we're talking about content planning. Like, what is content planning? Hey, I'm Coach Molle from Visibility Hacking Studios, and we help small businesses boost their visibility online. And today, I'm going to share with you about a topic that totally changed the game with my businesses online. I went from this space of just constantly feeling like I was treading water, as if I was almost about to drown any second I decided to take a rest. And if you work online and you're trying to build your brand visibility online, you know that if you stop creating content, in some ways you really do become invisible. And that can lead to burnout, and that can lead to a whole lot of other problems. And then I decided to actually think intentionally about the content that I was putting out there, to plan ahead, a little bit at least. And of course, I always take things to the extreme, so I decided to plan out months of content to the fine, minute detail. This wasn't a good idea either. This led to another set of overwhelm and guilt and all of those negative feelings that you want to avoid when you're creating content online. You want to bring your joyous personality out, and that was not showing because I was feeling burnt out. So I needed a better solution. So I spent years trying to figure out the best way. What is that middle ground that helps us feel like we have a plan, but we also have enough structure and freedom to play within that structure? And that's how we came up with the content planning system that I'm going to share with you in this new mini-series. Content planning is a process that helps us create intentional content. When we create intentional content, we stop playing the game of content for the sake of content, and we start playing the game of connection. I'm just gonna say it, if you want conversion, you want people to go from a place of indecision to decision, usually in the terms of not being a customer to being a customer, well, then you're going to need to play the game of connection. And if that interests you, you have come to the right spot, because today we're talking about what is content planning and how to create a content plan that works. We'll talk about why posting to ghosts is wasting your resources. Then we'll talk about measuring and evaluating your content, which is the bread and butter of content planning. So for this and more, stay tuned. So the first thing you want to do when you're creating a content plan is not to start with yourself and not to start with your brand. It's to go out and look at what your market is enjoying. Also, look wider at what the platforms are enjoying. So you want to look for trends in different types of content. And of course, feel free to revive trends that have maybe passed to the side a bit. They're great for getting practice on creating great content, and hey, you might inspire the trend to revive. Create a list, literally, of different kinds of content that your market is enjoying and that's really popular on the platforms that you're posting to. From there, you can take that list and actually start creating a plan for your content. Spread it out, put a calendar together. Actually, putting a calendar together is a really great idea, and I'll save you some time because at the end of this video, I'm going to share with you a link to our favorite content planning spreadsheets. Don't be overwhelmed. They are simplified spreadsheets, I promise. No overwhelm here. But before we get to that, make sure that you hit the subscribe button and join us here on the Visibility Hacking channel. We would love to see you, and we'd love even more for the algorithm to serve up our videos to you, so you can get this great information and start taking action in your small business. The next step in the content planning process, now that we actually have a plan, we have to take action on that plan. So what we're going to do is post our content. There are great scheduling apps that you can use that can help you get that content out there. There are VAs or assistants that you can hire to get that content out there. Or if you're doing this on your own, you can also post that content yourself. Making sure that we are posting at the right time and all of that kind of stuff is not nearly as important as just getting started. Start to build that visibility. People who worry about what time they should be posting at, who haven't started creating regular content, are asking the wrong question. It's like they have this idea that their content is going to disappear after the hour. Yeah, there's a lot of content that may push your stuff down a little bit in the algorithm, but if you're not creating content in the first place, well, then you're setting yourself up to fail. So if you are not regularly creating that content, then I want you to just start publishing whenever is convenient and accessible for you. Then the conversation gets started. Your next step is to engage in conversation. If people are commenting on your posts, don't just like the post. Don't just like that comment. You want to reply back. We're starting a conversation with your posts. We want to help build that relatability factor and also establish you as an authority, as a real person. So I want you to get to know the people who are commenting on your posts. Further those conversations. And why not further the conversation down in the comments? Let me know where you are with your brand's visibility. Are you just getting started? What kinds of content are you creating? Where are you stuck? And where do you want to be with your brand? Let us know in the comments because I love getting to know you guys. You're such a really cool bunch of incredible entrepreneurs and business owners. Visibility hackers rock! Now for the part of content creation that most people skip, and that's the reason why most content creators aren't making their true value in money and with all of the work that they're putting in. First thing you're going to do is look back at the content that you've created. Look at the types of engagement you're getting. Measure it and evaluate those measurements. You want to look for what types of content were resonating, which types of content were getting more connection. Were there certain ones that were generating more likes and comments and shares? If so, those are the types of content you want to then create again on your next month's content plan. So first we come up with the ideas, then we test and evaluate them. If they're great, if they're getting lots of engagement, we want to add those back. If they weren't getting the engagement we were hoping for, then maybe we put that type of content to the side because it doesn't seem to be resonating with our market. And you do this every single month and you get this great content plan that ends up being a great way to serve your people. But creating that content plan every month is actually something that I don't do anymore. I've moved past that and I want to share with you how I've been able to do that. So I want to invite you to join us for our 1 year of content planning session. It's a fantastic workshop that'll show you the process, the strategy behind it, the philosophy behind it, the why, in other words, so that you can mimic it and follow it for your brand as well. It doesn't matter what industry you're in, it doesn't matter how big your following is, it doesn't matter how big your competitors are. If you think about your connection to your audience, using the 1 year of content process is going to help you build this beautiful structure for an entire year's worth of content. Actually, it's more than a year's worth of content. It's a year's worth of content and even enough to make an additional course serve so much value to your people. So anyways, enough about that. If you're interested in it, head down to the links that are down in the description. The 1 year of content training is amazing and I want you to join us for that. So definitely hit the links down in the description box. Join us over in the Visibility Hacking Facebook group for our Friday Night Live. I would love to see you guys over there. And remember, as per usual, I love you, be excellent to each other, and just go live. Your people are waiting for you.